A man named Smith lives on the streets, quietly eating his favorite snack, a carrot. In another life, he was a soldier and a military weapons expert. That life ended the day his wife and child were killed in a brutal restaurant shootout. The trauma pushed him away from everything he once knew, leaving him to wander with no real destination. One day, while Smith drifts in and out of consciousness, he notices a pregnant woman walking past him, panic written all over her face. Moments later, a car speeds in and screeches to a stop near a nearby building. It quickly becomes clear that the woman is being hunted by the man inside the car. When the pursuer pulls out a gun and prepares to fire, Smith makes a split-second decision to step in. Inside the building, the pregnant woman tries to fight back with her own weapon, but she is out of bullets. Just as the man is about to kill her, Smith moves with lightning speed and takes him down using nothing but a carrot. This is where everything spirals out of control. This is shoot 'em up. However, the moment barely ends before more armed men arrive and begin the chase. With no other choice, Smith grabs a gun and is pulled into a violent shootout. After defeating the attackers, Smith finds himself in an unbelievable situation, helping the woman give birth. Even during the delivery, more criminals storm in, forcing Smith to fight while protecting both mother and child. Despite the chaos, the baby is born safely. To keep them alive, Smith urges the mother to hide while he holds off the attackers. During the chaos, he captures the group's leader, a man named Hertz. Smith soon realizes that Hertz's weapon is locked by a fingerprint system, making it useless to anyone else. As danger closes in, Smith attempts a desperate escape with the mother and her newborn, dodging bullets along the way. But on the stairwell, he discovers the woman has been shot in the head and is already dead. Refusing to let the baby die too, Smith flees alone with the child. The armed men continue their pursuit until Smith is cornered on a rooftop. With nowhere left to run, he fights once again in a brutal gun battle. After a long and exhausting clash, Smith survives and leaps to a neighboring building, finally managing to escape. Hertz is left behind with his men and the body of the woman who just gave birth. Furious and confused, he becomes obsessed with the mysterious man who single-handedly ruined his operation. The next day, Smith walks through the city carrying the baby. He notices a well-dressed man named Greg watching them from a distance. Sensing danger, Smith hides in a public restroom. Greg soon arrives and demands the baby. Smith refuses, triggering another violent shootout. Smith eventually regains control of the situation and chooses to spare Greg's life before escaping once more with the baby. At the same time, Hertz receives new information about Smith's whereabouts. Without hesitation, he changes course, determined to hunt down Smith and make sure the baby does not survive. Meanwhile, Smith takes the baby to a public park, planning to leave him there. He hopes a kind-hearted stranger will find the child and raise him safely. But when a woman approaches to pick up the baby, she is suddenly shot from far away. In that moment, Smith realizes the truth. From the very beginning, Hertz's group was never after the mother. Their real target was the baby. Understanding the danger, Smith fires back to disrupt the sniper's aim, giving himself just enough time to grab the baby and escape the area. Not long after, Smith brings the baby to a brothel, hoping to leave him in the care of a prostitute named Donna. He offers her money to look after the child. Donna refuses, believing Smith has kidnapped the baby. Elsewhere, Hertz examines the body of the baby's mother and comes to a chilling conclusion. Smith will need milk to keep the baby alive. He orders his men to search the city for breastfeeding women. Through their investigation, they track down Donna and force her to reveal what she knows about Smith. Donna explains how Smith arrived with the baby, but insists she has no idea where he is now. Doubting her story, Hertz threatens her, firing shots at bottles on the table to intimidate her. Just as Hertz's cruelty reaches its peak, Smith suddenly appears and aims his weapon at him. In the tense standoff, Smith quickly realizes that Hertz's gun is unloaded and disarms him. It is then revealed that while the torment was happening, Smith had already taken out all of Hertz's men on his own. When Hertz assumes his gun is useless because of its fingerprint lock, Smith proves him wrong by using the severed arm of one of Hertz's men to fire the weapon, shooting Hertz straight in the chest. After that, Smith urges Donna to escape with him. They steal a customer's car and flee the scene. What they do not realize is that Hertz survives the shot thanks to a bulletproof vest. During the drive, Smith explains how he ended up with the baby and why he refuses to hand the child over to the authorities. Their moment is interrupted by a careless driver throwing trash onto the road. Furious at the reckless behavior, Smith reacts instantly and slams the driver into a parked car. Later, Smith stops at a gun store to buy ammunition, only to discover he does not have enough money. Donna becomes angry, believing Smith lied to her, and storms out. Smith soon finds her with another man in an alley. In frustration, Smith strikes a trash bin, smashing the man's hand and driving him away. Donna admits she was only trying to earn money. Using the cash Donna got from the man, Smith buys bulletproof vests, ammunition, and supplies to protect the baby. After that, Smith takes Donna and the baby to his hideout on the top floor of an abandoned building. At the same time, Hertz spots a car with shattered windows parked outside a gun store and becomes certain that Smith is nearby. It does not take long before he tracks down the abandoned building. Upstairs, Smith makes a makeshift diaper out of old newspapers and finally gives the baby a name, Oliver. Down below, Hertz's men begin entering the building. While watching the news about Oliver and the death of his mother, Smith notices something strange. Oliver stops crying every time heavy metal music plays on the television.
Gun control.
From that small detail, Smith starts to suspect that Oliver's mother had a connection to a nearby heavy metal club. Not long after, Hertz's men storm the upper floors. Smith forces Donna to escape using a food service elevator. Carrying Oliver in his arms, Smith fights through the attackers with ruthless precision, taking them down one by one without missing a shot. After an intense shootout, Smith and Oliver escape by rappelling down with a rope taken from one of the criminals. They regroup with Donna, who is waiting below, and flee together. In a nearby alley, Smith realizes that Hertz has brought a tracking dog. To avoid harming the innocent animal, Smith uses Oliver's diaper as a decoy. The plan works, distracting the dog and causing the pursuers to lose their trail. Smith then decides to take Oliver to the nearest heavy metal club. Outside, they find boxes filled with baby supplies, confirming that Oliver's mother was connected to the place. Inside the club, they force the owner to reveal a rented room upstairs used by several suspicious men. When Smith and Donna enter the room, they find everyone inside already dead. While searching the room, they spot Greg talking on the phone, boasting about his role in murdering pregnant women and their newborn babies. Smith freezes when he realizes Greg is the same man from the earlier restroom incident who tried to take Oliver. After Greg leaves, Smith and Donna discover a hidden laboratory. Inside, they find a refrigerated storage unit filled with semen samples, all from the same man. From this, Smith suspects that the women were deliberately impregnated by a single donor to produce babies with matching bone marrow. The truth soon becomes even darker. A large organized network is behind the murders. The babies were intentionally created using the same donor for a specific purpose, and Oliver is one of them. Within this operation, Hertz serves as the main executioner, making sure the babies never fall into the wrong hands. That is why he has been relentlessly hunting Oliver from the very beginning. After leaving the lab, Smith urges Donna and Oliver to hide for the night at a hotel. There, Smith explains that he contacted multiple TV stations in the FBI, hoping public attention would protect them. Instead, that decision only invites even greater danger. A group of masked men suddenly storms the motel and attacks. From one of the attackers he manages to take down, Smith finds a Hammerson-branded weapon that should not even be on the market yet. This discovery raises serious suspicion that the owner of the Hammerson Weapons Company is directly connected to the network hunting Oliver. To protect Donna and Oliver, Smith takes them to a war museum and tells them to hide inside an armored vehicle on display. Once he is sure they are safe, Smith heads out alone to the Hammer and Army factory. There, he secretly observes a meeting between Hertz and the weapons factory owner, Hammerson, who is always accompanied by his pet dog. During their discussion, Hertz reports that their attempt to kill Oliver was stopped by a mysterious man. He also explains that Smith is a former soldier and a highly dangerous weapons expert. After hearing this, Hammerson and Hertz agree that Smith and the baby must be found quickly before the presidential election takes place. The urgency is tied to a presidential candidate named Senator Rutledge, a man known for his plans to revoke civilian gun ownership and shut down weapons companies, including Hammerson's. Elsewhere, Smith sets up traps and prepares himself for another attack. Without realizing it, Hertz has already tracked him down and opens fire. Smith, however, remains calm, casually eating his favorite carrot as the gunfight begins. During the clash, Hertz reveals that he knows Smith's past, including the restaurant shootout that killed Smith's wife and child. Those words ignite Smith's rage. He launches a brutal counterattack, takes down Hammerson's men, and manages to escape. Smith reunites with Donna and explains that Hammerson is behind the hunt for Oliver, even though the full purpose of the conspiracy is still unclear. While Donna changes Oliver's diaper, Smith notices a newspaper clipping about Senator Rutledge. In that moment, everything clicks. Rutledge is the one who needs Oliver's bone marrow, while Hammerson wants the baby dead to prevent Rutledge from getting a compatible donor. With this realization, Smith begins planning his move against the senator. Donna then takes Oliver out of the city by bus, while Smith puts his plan into action. Along the way, Hertz's men strike again. Donna is separated from Smith, and Smith escapes with Oliver in a stolen car, leading to a tense chase through the streets. A crash sends Oliver flying from the vehicle. As Smith rushes to save him, he is attacked by the criminals. After defeating them, Hertz arrives and discovers that the baby is actually a doll fitted with a voice recorder. The real Oliver is safe, hidden at the museum under Donna's protection. Smith then contacts Senator Rutledge's office and pretends that Oliver is in his possession. He requests a meeting, unaware that the arrangement is handled by Greg, the same man who once tried to take Oliver in a public restroom. The meeting is set at an airport, and Smith is invited aboard a plane to meet Senator Rutledge face-to-face. Inside the plane, Rutledge reveals that he is suffering from cancer and needs Oliver's bone marrow to stay alive. In that moment, Smith notices dog hair on the senator's clothes, the same kind belonging to Hammerson's pet. That detail confirms Hammerson's involvement. Smith takes Rutledge hostage, but everything becomes clear when Hertz and Hammerson appear and confirm their secret deal. Rutledge had promised to protect gun ownership rights if they delivered Oliver and helped him win the presidency. Smith forces Rutledge into the cargo hold and makes one thing clear. The senator's death would spark public sympathy and push strict gun control laws forward. Smith then kills Rutledge and leaps from the plane. While falling through the air, he fights off the remaining men and defeats them all. Even Greg meets his end after crashing into a helicopter. Badly injured, Smith loses consciousness and later wakes up in the basement of Hammerson's mansion. There, Hertz tortures him, trying to learn where Donna and Oliver are hiding. Smith refuses to give in. When Hertz finally attempts to kill him, Smith fights back. In the final confrontation, Smith kills Hammerson and faces Hertz one last time. Using a brutal and unexpected move, Smith heats bullets in a fireplace between his fingers and fires them, killing Hertz on the spot.
I am dead on.
Days later, Smith rides a bus with Hammerson's dog to reunite with Donna and Oliver. They meet at an ice cream shop where Donna now works while caring for Oliver. The reunion is emotional, filled with relief and affection. Just when things seem peaceful, 3 armed men burst into the shop. Calm as ever, Smith takes them down once again, using his trusty carrot as his weapon of choice. So the moral of the story is, if life ruins everything you love, just grab a carrot, stay calm, and somehow you might accidentally defeat criminals, politicians, and capitalism at the same time.